Well, it's late February here at Pride's Corner Farms, and we're still socked in pretty good with the snow and the cold.
Hey, I'm up here. I'm up here. Hey, there's a lot of snow here. Mike's right. There's a lot of snow right here, and it looks like Antarctica, but this is Lebanon, Connecticut, and our goal here today is to show you what winter is done here at Pride's Corner and what we're doing for your plants to make sure that they get to you this spring, if it ever happens, in great shape. Well, after that bit of mountain climbing up these tremendous snow piles, here we are inside of a house right now. And I've got Mike, our production manager here at Pride's Corner, to talk about what's really going on with these plants. You're leaning against this piece of wood. What's that all about?
Well, you know, we had to get these 2x4s into the nursery to brace a lot of our house with all the snow load. We've got over 10,000 of these throughout the nursery, Tim, to brace some of this, to protect some of these houses from the tremendous snow load. You can see how the plastic's folded in, very strong plastic, but we have to make sure these houses stay up.
This is really unprecedented, is really what you're saying, with the amount of snow and what we have done here at Pride's Corner to, one, keep the houses upright, and two, to make sure that the plants are going to be great coming out of this winter that's really going to be unforgettable. So let's talk about all this plastic behind us here, Mike.
Well, I mean, you know, for a lot of our houses, we can't just cover them with plastic. It's just not good enough. We had a very cold winter, and thank goodness we have some extra protection on these plants. The plastic over these plants here give us an additional 10 to 15 degrees protection within the house itself.
An extra 10 to 15 degrees protection in some of this sub-zero weather. That's an extremely important point here. And Mike, tell me how long some of these plants have been under this plastic.
Sure, we covered these plants around the beginning of January. And usually they're off by now, Tim. By the end of February, we're taking this poly off, and we're even venting a little bit. This plastic will probably stay on for at least another week.
Wow. You know, what I'm seeing here, Mike, this is clear plastic, but it looks pretty cloudy. It looks like there's a lot of moisture underneath there. Is that a good thing?
Oh, that's a very good thing. That's what we look for when we cover these plants with plastic. We're trying to trap the heat and the humidity, especially for some of the evergreen plants that prevent desiccation, but it's really critical that you see that moisture underneath that plastic.
Good deal. All right, here we are. We were just talking with Mike about this poly blanket and what it means, and here we have one of the plants out here, and we're looking at it. It looks really good right now for a boxwood. It's got some of that winter color, but it's pretty solid here. The interesting thing that I see, of course, that it is frozen, but what happens in here on a sunny day?
In the house, under the poly blanket, it probably doesn't get much lower than 20, 22 degrees. Now during the day, especially this time of year, the house will get into the 50s, and we can even see some 60-degree temperature under the poly blanket.
And basically that temperature buildup that happens during the day is also one of the things under this layer that helps keep these plants from going really too low temperature.
We want to trap that heat. We want to trap that heat so that the temperature drops really slowly.
You know, this poly blanket thing, and I got to give Mike credit for this, this is something that he's worked for a number of years on, is really the thing that Pride's Corner has going for us to make sure that we're always sending you in the spring plants that have come through the winter, that are viable, looking good, and ready to sell for your nursery. Now, outside, it may still look like it's Antarctica out here, but we are getting ready, and I know you're anxious to get plants in, just as anxious as we are to get them to you. But we're going to have great plants for you when spring finally hits.